Joining us are Kamna Pandey, animal rights activist from Lucknow. Hi, good morning, Kamna. And also with us is Kaveri Rana Bhardwaj, founder of Sophie Memorial Animal Relief Trust. Hi there, Kaveri. Kaveri was stuck in a little bit of an accident situation, hence the delay. So we'd had to keep our viewers waiting for a little while. Kaveri, I hope everything's okay.
It was an accident dog. A car went over him. The back is crushed. So I had to rush for the rescue. That's why I got late. So people need to drive a little carefully. We just went over them, we just go over them. The condition is not good. The baby is bleeding from the private parts. So right now I've just rushed to the emergency. My car has taken him. But not a very good chance of survival the baby is showing.
We'll try and free you as soon as possible, Kaveri. But let's get to the conversation we've been waiting to have.
Yes.
You have been running this animal shelter for the last 8 years. There's a very personal story there. So let's start with that. Tell us a little bit about Sophie Memorial Animal Relief Trust. What you all do, how does it work, and the story essentially that you've witnessed around this cause the last few years.
Sure. Thank you so much. So, Sophie Memorial Animal Relief Trust, as the name says, it's in memory of Sophie. Sophie was my Indian Desi pet daughter, jisko people like to call stray dogs. She was one of the stray dogs who I had adopted back in 2005 when she was a puppy. She passed in 2017, leaving a big depressive hole in my life. And after that, to keep her memory alive, I opened up Sophie Memorial Animal Relief Trust, which is an all-animal shelter in Greater Noida. Right now, we are the only all-animal shelter in the city. And we cater to dogs, cats, cows, calves, donkeys, basically any animal which is in distress on the roads or has been abandoned by the owners and cannot survive by themselves. So the idea behind it was that no animal should be deprived of human care, compassion and medical care. And that's what we have based ourselves on. Our priority goes to the dogs who have lost their limbs or have been into accidents. But that does not mean that we draw the line there. We have rescued chickens, we have rescued goats, we have rescued foxes, we have rescued numerous snakes in the last so many years. And the journey has been quite peaceful and eventful also. Mm-hmm. And as you asked what I have observed or experienced in last few years, from these dogs, just love. From the dogs on street, just love and compassion, and asking nothing else in return. Mm-hmm. But yes, as a human psyche, we all have probably changed due to these certain, I call them traumas and tragedies, things like COVID, which happened to us. Something in us changed during those last few years. The dogs were always there. Population, expansion has happened, but dogs were always there in India. And no one used to give a second glance. Kutta ja raha hai. She's feeding the dogs. Or the dog is standing. Or the dog is coming. Right now, we have made it such a big topic that we start our morning with dogs and then we end our morning with how to dump dogs. So we have changed in the last few years.
I think that also creates fear psychosis. So the moment something gets blown out of proportion, and for all right reasons, there are those who've seen their children or their loved ones suffer. Some of them have had some bad injuries to deal with. So that's completely understandable. But the more you hear about it, the more you're watching out for when you're crossing a dog. And the moment that kind of fear kicks in, the story changes completely. Kaveri, so if I were to just ask you broadly, if you were to just highlight where do you see the problem lies? For decades, dogs and human beings have coexisted. The number has gone up and down compared to a lot of, or given a lot of factors. COVID, for instance, saw a decline in these kind of dog bites for sure. Where does the problem then lie? Why is this happening? Why are we looking at this kind of an animosity, especially in residential complexes?
Most of it I would attribute to lack of awareness. As Animal Birth Control Rules 2023 amendment and the old rules also say we as municipal corporations or states, need to invest our time in advertising, in telling people, in making them aware about how to behave around a street dog, or to run adoption campaigns via our local animal welfare organizations. Very small things. Or maybe probably running an anti-rabies immunization drive in my nearby village, so that people who aren't even aware that there is a vaccine which can be given to the dog to prevent a post-bite infection. That is where we stand. Lack of awareness. Our animal husbandry hospitals, our municipalities, they have got the infrastructure, they have got the people, they have got the spokesperson, and they have got that money which can be put on that big advertisement board in almost every city which says adopt a Desi today, right? Let's stop buying dogs. Let's stop foreign breeding. Let's stop breeding altogether. Let's stop importing dogs. So once we start focusing on that, once we start talking about our dogs as a positive companion, they are not a stray. We have to realize that they are as Indian as we are. They might not be a husky or a Saint Bernard, but they are dogs. So I as a person, I as a human being fail to understand the difference between a husky and a Desi dog. For me, both are equivalent. A husky would have definitely a less developed mind than a Desi dog, that I know. Kamna ji would agree with me.
Kamna
Indian
ji in
dogs
fact
are
has
very
two
small.
Indies. Kamna ji calls herself the mother of two
I know
Indies,
her.
so she would be
is
in
my
full
senior
agreement.
in the field, yeah.
Yeah.
So the point is, Indies have always evolved like us humans. Their brains have evolved. And trust me when I say this, I have got 42 Indies living in my home and way more in my shelter. These dogs understand you better than anyone. Regarding the biting, scare and people who get scared, kahin kaat na le. That is understandable. That fear is in my mind too. If I go out, God forbid someone gang rapes me. If I go out, God forbid someone crushes me by their car. If I go out, God forbid a tree falls on me. There are many things which God forbid may happen with anyone. But the point is blowing it out of proportion. When a tree falls on some human being in India, does media show it like a crazy over and over and over and over campaign? No, they don't. No one asks for demand of cutting of the trees. No one asks the municipality to keep those trees in the right position so that they don't fall. No one makes a hue and cry about it. But the moment a pet dog or a street dog even barks, I would start seeing CCTV videos flooding my Twitter. And then people asking me, dog mother, what do you have to say about this? Now the dog mother says if the dog is aggressive, please bring them to the shelter. My shelter like people like Kamna Di, you have been overseeing, there are many shelters. But is every dog of India aggressive? No, it's not. Fear is a manifestation of our mind. We want to be scared, we will be scared, we want to watch a lot of hue and cry, starting over dogs, ending over dogs. We will not be able to think anything except about dogs. Aisa nahi hai. Today's world also, if 1,000 children are scared of dogs, I will show you 5,000 children playing with those dogs. I'll give you an example.
So we need to talk
Last
more
to
about the
last-
positive stories also. We need to talk about the positive impact they're creating just by merely being there. I'll take this conversation to Kamna for a bit and I'll come back to you, Kaveri. Kamna, you have been, this cause has been close to your heart for the last 3 decades and you've played multiple roles in furthering this cause. Tell us a little bit about that. And very interestingly, you are based out of Lucknow. We've seen the Lucknow model being quoted in the Supreme Court as well. What makes it so effective? What are we witnessing in Lucknow that needs to be replicated pan-India to really see this debate end once and for all?
Thank you for having me. A very good morning to you and your viewers. So yes, Lucknow model is in news for all the right reasons. And it's very heartening to see that all the hard work that the volunteers have been putting in for decades. And actually somewhere we are missing the point that apart from the sterilization, there are a lot of other points that also play a vital role in achieving a harmonious coexistence. So dogs, let me begin by this, that dogs are by nature friendly. They are community dogs. They have chosen to stay with us. You'll never see a dog in a deserted area, no matter how, whether it is green and plush or it is a desert region, if there is no human habitation around. You'll only find dogs where there are humans. So they've chosen to stay with us. We have chosen to serve them to, it's a symbiotic relationship. And Indies, like Kaveri said, are very smart. They are very smart. I could just go on and on with their stories, how smart they are. My dog, the earlier one, Kishmish, she could open this latch, not the handle. Handle, all of them can open.
Yeah.
They're very smart. But she could open the latch with her teeth. They've become so smart that they know how to make those puppy eyes. You go on the streets, and the street dogs, their survival depends on it. So they'll sit in the corner when you're eating at a dhaba or any place, at a stall. They'll sit there with those puppy eyes, make droopy faces, give you smiles. And this is something that I've noticed in the recent years. The dogs have actually learned how to smile.
Yeah.
They've even learned how to react to phones, when you're filming them, when you're taking their pictures or their videos. I have realized that they have actually started reacting. Their expressions change, just like any human's expression would change. So they are very smart. They are very sensitive. They are very caring. They have taken upon this role of being the protector. And dogs only react. Like how they say, they are hinsak. So not the right word, not the right definition, because hinsak animal would only be hinsak, like a tiger, let's say. A tiger in a zoo, even if you feed that tiger, you keep the food and then you move out and the tiger comes and eats it, right? Actually, though, even they do not attack without a reason. But however, they are in the category of hinsak. Dogs will only react to whatever you give them. Which is why you always hear them say, the other side, the so-called dog haters say that they will not bite the dog feeders. So you feed them, you don't have a problem. So exactly there lies the solution. You give them hatred, you beat them up, they are going to react to that. You give them love, you give them food. Even if you don't give them food, that's okay. Just don't hate them, don't make them feel defensive, because it is the fear that drives the aggression. So that, I think, in Lucknow we realized very early on that it is the fear that drives them to defensive aggression.
But changing that awareness or turning that awareness into a pan-Lucknow movement, wherein you instill that awareness to a place or to a point, up to a point wherein people are actually practicing a different way of treating dogs. How do you go about that? How do you see that kind of collective effort result in something that's actually seen change on ground? What is this awareness? What is this message that you've spread so efficiently that's actually brought about a change?
So we believe that if you engender compassion early on, then you become more empathetic and compassionate, and they are clean slates. Children are clean slates. They haven't yet, they don't have the prefixed notions or corrupted by, some negative coverage in media, corrupted by people. We cover schools. We run campaigns in schools. In fact, we've covered all the schools in Lucknow, and it's a continuous process.
We'll try and pull up
there
those
are
visuals
those
as well.
we go-
Kamna shared some visuals of students or children, school children being asked to submit some projects, create temporary shelters
Yes.
for dogs, give them water, etc. So we'll try and pull up those visuals as well. Yes, you were making a point. Go ahead.
So we've run campaigns like Ek Mutti Dana, where every child will bring one muthi of something. One muthi dana, either rice or something. Ek muthi dana campaign we run. Then we run campaign of create a shelter for your lane buddy. So these are those shelters, that these kids created out of zero waste, out of, they were not supposed to buy it, but create it themselves. So these are all cardboards or waste pieces of boards that were left. These are fruit crates.
Wow.
This is actually from Noida, but they created similar ones. This one, all of these, they were created by kids. And there is a bond that you establish with the lame dogs. When you create something like this, you do something, they are in gratitude, and you can see that. We run campaigns like water bowl selfie contest. I've sent you some pictures of that as well, wherein 26,000 children participated within 3 days. So all the schools participated. I'll tell you a very, very sweet story. One of the parents I met, whose child had participated in water bowl selfie contest. So that father actually told me that what have you done to our family? We were actually very fearful. When I used to come from my office, he had a bike, and he said these dogs used to actually bark and chase me when I would come in my lane, go towards my house. And we were a very fearful family of dogs. And then this project came up, and we had to put this water bowl outside our house. And slowly all these dogs started sitting outside my house only. And then my kid and my wife and everybody were like, acha baitha hai to kuch khila dete hain, ek roti dal dete hain. So it started with one roti. Then it started with someone got some, skin disease, and they called up and they got a paravet to treat. So they eventually turned into a full-fledged caretaking family. And obviously all the chasing went away, and even he had complained that sometimes these dogs would poop in front of my house. Now that place became the feeding area of the dog, and a dog is never going to dirty around that. So that problem also went away. So the solution to all the complaints that people who don't understand dogs, all those solutions actually are very simple and come from a place of compassion. Because again, I repeat, dogs only react to what you give them. If you the change doesn't have to be made in the dog. The change has to come in us, and their reaction is going to automatically change.